Who here owns a smartphone? Hands up. There are a lot of us, and some of us probably thought I was going to remind you to turn it off, but no. I love my smartphone. Think if I lost it, it'd be like losing a part of me. Anyway, moving on. My name is Joanna. I'm a UV researcher, and I'm going to tell you why I'm using smartphones. But first I need to tell you why I need to use them, what I'm going to do with them. So, I love living in Australia, but sometimes I think it needs to come with a disclaimer. Okay, so it's not all Australia's fault, but some of you are probably aware that Australia has one of the highest skin cancer diagnosis rates in the world. Chances are you know or will know someone who'll be diagnosed with skin cancer. That's because statistics tell us that 2 out of 3 Australians will be diagnosed by the age of 70. The problem is so large that it costs us over $300 million in treatment every year. And unfortunately, we lose over 2,000 Australians' lives. That's every year. It's also a fact we know what one of the major risk factors are in developing skin cancer: ultraviolet radiation. You might know it better as UV because I find as an Australian, we like to reduce everything to 2 syllables. It's easier. Anyway, UV, invisible radiation emanating from the sun, which despite what anyone will try and tell you, you cannot feel it, you cannot sense it until after the damage is done. See, we know a lot about UV radiation and skin cancer, but there's still a lot we don't know. Such as, we don't know if it takes large UV exposures over short periods of time, or does it require lots of short UV exposures over large periods of time, or some combination of the two. And how many environmental and individual factors impact on that? Here's a hint: nearly everything. So, the only thing we know for certain is that the best way to treat skin cancer is to prevent skin cancer. And we do that through skin cancer studies. And we can do that in a few different ways. We can ask participants to fill out sun diaries. So they'll estimate their UV exposure. Unfortunately, it does suffer due to that estimation process. So we might add UV dosimeters or dose meters. They will detect the UV if you remember to put it on. I have a tendency to forget mine. So you might want to go one step further and improve it. If you have a lot of funds available to you, you can get really awesome but really expensive electronic dosimeters. Now, that all just sounds a little bit like too much hard work. Why can't I do something that I don't have to estimate, that I hopefully won't forget about, and then hopefully I won't damage? Why can't I use my smartphone? You see, what I'm trying to do is show that your smartphone can detect short UV wavelengths. Why? Because they're the most damaging ones. Our research group has already shown that long UV wavelengths can be detected by smartphones. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to do. Have you seen how many mobile phones are out there nowadays? There's so many models. So, you know, the question is, are some better than others? And this is one question I can answer. Yes, absolutely, they are. And this is the point where I like to sort of say, you know what, if we could use our smartphones, the fact that we're using something that we already have in our very busy daily lives, that we don't have to then add to it, we could overcome some of that resistance we naturally tend to have when we're asked to participate in these sort of studies. So, what is my take-home message? Smartphones. Some of them can detect UV radiation. My goal is to use existing technology in a new and a useful way to improve the way we do skin cancer studies, maybe even make it more affordable, and maybe improve our own health in the future. And there's one last thing that I like to throw out there. Just maybe, in the future, we could actually monitor and control our own UV radiation just by using our smartphones. Thank you.